Okay, let's get the show on the road today. Today is going to be very quick. Hopefully, I just want to have so much going on right now. So I just want to review today's trades that I took with you guys. So I'm going to start with the first trade I took today, which was a GJ trade. So if you remember, oh, my indicator for sessions is off. So if you remember the strategy, right? Start off by marking out the different sessions. Right, so we're going to mark out Asian. Let's change this real quick to I showed you guys the settings with the New York time the last time. This time I'm going to show it to you guys with the London session. So very simple to start out at the beginning of the day by 8 a.m. London time or by 3 a.m. New York time. Just before then, we're on our charts and we're marking out the different sessions. So we're going to mark out using London time now. We're going to mark out 8 a.m. Where is it? So here, cool. We're going to mark out 8 a.m. We're going to mark out midnight. Okay, that's where are we? Are we still on the same day? Yeah, this is for Thursday. So let me mark out midnight. Where is midnight? Um, second it's off. Midnight. Somewhere here. Then we're going to mark out the previous days. 8 a.m. Am I getting my time right? It's midnight, 8 a.m. Trying to remember the other time. I can't believe I'm really thinking about it right now. Geez. Let me try to remember it in New York time. So it is 7 p.m. New York time, which is midnight. It's 3 a.m., which is 8 a.m. It's 3 a.m. New York, which is 8 a.m. London. Oh, okay, and then 13 o'clock. Yeah, excellent. I was trying to remember that. So that's 1 p.m. London time, okay? So I'm also going to mark out that for today. London time is 13. Oh, there it is. So remember the time we showed up at our charts was somewhere here, just before 8 a.m. And what did we do? What we did was actually pretty simple. Okay, we just marked out the low for the session, for the previous session. Okay, so over here, I'm going to mark out the low for this Asian session. But you will notice something that even during the Asian session, this low was white. Okay, so I didn't use this low as my low. I targeted this low. Okay, I hope that kind of makes sense to you guys. So this was the low from the previous day's New York session. So I marked out that low and I was waiting for liquidity to be taken. So I showed up my charts by 8 a.m., 3-minute time frame. Where am I? Oh. So yeah, we came, like I said, this was still during Asian, so I didn't take it. And by the way, these times, I know these may not be the textbook session times that you know, right? It's for the sake of this strategy, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so even though this was during Asian, so I was just waiting for the New York time, and by New York time, it took this out, as you can see, went up here, created a change of market structure, so I got in somewhere around there. Okay, so this was my trade earlier today. It's the same strategy I taught you guys before. If you don't know the strategy yet, just look back at the previous videos. It's pretty simple. You mark out the sessions using this way of delineating the time, right? You're marking out midnight, 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. in London time. If it's New York time that you want to use, then you can go ahead and use 7 p.m. New York time, 3 a.m. and 8 a.m. New York time, okay? So, and then once you mark that out, you now mark out the highs and lows of each session and just wait for price to sweep one of them. In this case, the low was swept, and Once it's swept, just wait for market structure shift. It's pretty simple. Target your 2R or a high low, whichever one you're comfortable with. Okay. So, you know, I got in somewhere around here. Stop loss definitely below here. Right? This low here. And then, you know, you just target. Okay. I targeted this first. Okay. So once that was swept, honestly, I took this trade earlier. I'm really trying to remember where I exited. But this was I remember this was my fresh target, but I didn't wait to see it hit, right? I just set my trade and I left it and just went to do something else, which is something I should have done for the macro session trade, but I didn't do. So, well, we're still going to get to that trade. So that was one. So I won this trade. I had the 2R. I got a better entry than this. I'm really trying to remember. I think I got an entry on the 1 minute time frame, which I wouldn't advise anybody that is new because it's clear on the 3 minute and 5 minute. If you're new to, you know, checking out market structure, etc., use that. But I think I got it on the 1 minute because I remember I had the 2 points, 2R on that trade or something like that. Anyways, then the second trade I took was gold. Okay. So same thing we do, same tactic, right? We're gonna mark out so you can see where I marked this out already. Okay, so well, let me show you it for you guys. We're gonna mark out midnight. Where was it? Midnight was somewhere here. We're gonna mark out 8 a.m. This is London time now. Okay, and this was the previous 13 o'clock. Where is it? Oh, so you can already see my take profit targets and whatnot. But let me take that off. So here's the thing, okay? Usually or sometimes price comes to this point, doesn't take the liquidity and reverse it. So sometimes I consider if I see the market, if price comes, I mark out the week on 30-minute time frame, I mark out both the week and the body. Okay. Once price comes in there and makes a market structure shift, I would usually enter. All right. Now I'm considering taking that out of my trading plan, just waiting for a clear liquidity take. Yeah. But like you can see here, it's also reacted within. For this trade, I didn't win this trade. I actually lost this trade, and I'm going to show you guys because price did an unusual spike before going in our direction. So this is around 8 a.m. Let me come to the 1 minute time frame to show you guys what I was looking at. Okay. Okay, 1 minute. This was I entered on the 1 minute, but like I said, I recommend 3 minute time frame to you guys. Later on, I'll check with the 3 minute time frame if you could have avoided that loss, but I doubt it anyway. So you can see just after 8 a.m., price came into that area. This here, at the time I was looking at this chart, this looks pretty much, look at this high, price came down, broke it, market structure shift in my opinion, right? And I went long on this. I went for a buy. Price moved a bit in profit, but my target was somewhere here. Okay. So it never got there, but along the line, as you can see, somewhere this was our low. Somewhere price just spiked below that low. They even take out that previous liquidity we marked out. They just took out this. So you see, we missed out on this, or I missed out on it by the tiniest of margins. Stopped me out and then shut up. But that was totally fine. I didn't mind, to be honest. On the account that I'm trading on, I'm currently plus 6% in profit. That's with the loss, the other trade I made it 2.2 hours, so that kind of made up for it. So I didn't mind. Now here's what I'm most happy about today's trading session is that I stuck with my trading plan in terms of discipline. I didn't overtrade even though I took a loss, which for me is something I'm happy about, right? If you're new, you wouldn't understand maybe yet. Sometimes the cost of how tricky it can be to just get discipline, especially when you see things aligning. For example, after price swept this liquidity, you can see there's a clear market structure shift here. I could have entered again, but no, I had done my 2 trades for the day on that account and I was done. So next one was to wait for macro time for my other trade. Okay, so I'm going to go to the US 30 and show you guys the trade we took on macro. So just as always, how we start macro. First of all, I try to get a bias in terms of, okay, where do I want to see markets go? And where is this? So I was looking at SPX. So once it's time to trade macro, I look at the three. I look at US 30, US 100, US 500, or the SPX 500. So whichever one is doing what I wanted to do at the time, which is whichever one first takes liquidity, that's the one I trade. Okay. But given this, I was looking for a bearish move. So because I didn't end up winning the US 30 day trade, I went out at break even. Okay. And then okay, let's not even chip into that. We'll see some more as we go along. So look at this great move downwards. So I wanted to see a downwards move, to be honest. I wanted, and there were fair value gaps above. I wanted price to generate some liquidity, go up, take it out, and then continue downwards. But at this point, we were in deep discount. If you don't know what discount is, don't worry. It means that we're at the point where we could have been looking for buys, but honestly, my bias was towards the downside. I'm just telling you guys what I was thinking, during this trading day. So what do? We show up to the charts by 10 a.m., right? Just before 10 a.m. So 9:15 New York time we show up. But in this case, that would be 2:50 p.m. London time. Okay. So once I get there on the 5 minute and the 15 minutes, I just mark out the highs and lows. So this was the nearest high. Look at this candle. This candle is 14:30, 14:45. Then this is 3 p.m. or 10 o'clock New York time. So I marked out the low. Then let's go to the 5 minute. Because it was on the 5 minute I did it. So as of that time, this was the low, right? This was a low, a 5 minute low. And you can see this is 2:55 to 3. So by the time the 10 p.m. candle was forming, 10 p.m. open, this low had not been swept, this high had not been swept. So usually what I would want to see is, okay, which one is this going to? I'm going to want to see a sweep and then a reverse in the opposite direction. But this time I was favoring a sell, which is to say I wanted price to come up, take this high out, enter the fair value gap and continue downwards, or even go up, take this one out and then hit somewhere here and then continue downwards. But as you can see, price, just swept this low instead. Okay. So what that caused for me was a lack of confidence, caused a lack of confidence in me for the trade, right? Because at that point I was in a bit of a dilemma. So even when the market structure shift occurred, by the way, price was a bit messy here, as you can see. And just look at this this mass of stuff. But I took this as a high. This was a high. This was a high. Right. So once price, look at this candle closed above. Once price closed above this, I went long. Right. So typically, when I go long or short, when I take my trades, I would want to walk away, just let it do its thing, no break evens, whatever wants to happen, let it happen. This was going to be my first target somewhere here, right? This time, because I didn't have a lot of confidence. Usually I was setting at like 2 hour move, but I didn't have confidence because I wanted to see a sell, but a buy was setting up. But I knew this strategy was powerful. This pattern is so powerful that most of the time, the one it grabs liquidity of and moves in the opposite direction, it gives you the trade. But and this is where maybe sometimes knowing you so much can be a bit of an issue because I was overthinking this trade. So honestly, once price retraced a bit and shot up, because usually with this it just shoots up and keeps going. But once it was dilly-dallying like this, it came up with it. I just quickly moved my stops to break even, took me out at break even. And then, of course, you can see it didn't. And then this drawdown was crazy. I had given up on this trade already. But as you can see, never took out our low. And the price just, went up for a 3 hour. Okay, so that wraps up, what I was looking at today. And let me show you guys something I did. I wasn't supposed to do. Okay. Now, when we're looking at that sweep of liquidity, we're looking at it to happen between 10 and 10:10 a.m. New York time. All right, New York time. Please don't get these times mixed up. Why is it a bit, somehow is that my London session trades, when I want to trade that, I change my time to London time. And when it's time for New York session, I switch it to New York time. Okay, so that's why sometimes it might seem like I hope the timing I'm saying is not confusing you guys. Just pick one and stick with it. It's because I'm just used to these times like this, so I already know what time it is in my mind. So here's the trade I took. Okay, so while US30 was doing this thing, you can see that NAS didn't take out either. Okay, NAS didn't take out either of those. So eventually, by 10:16 or so, NAS took out this high and made this push downwards. This could have been taken as a low to close below it, even though it wasn't the strongest. To be honest, the better low that could have been taken out should have been this one. But I'm just being transparent with you guys, okay? I'm just thinking, even though I trade good, sometimes psychology is important. Sometimes we don't always get 100% right. In terms of what we're supposed to do. So usually what I'll do is that the first one that strips liquidity out of the trade, which US30 did, I'll take that trade and let it go because I'm taking only one trade per day. But since that US30 broke even, I still had my one trade for the day to go, right? It was like a no trade day in quote. So I thought to take this trade, which I shouldn't have. Honestly, shouldn't have. But it took out the high, took out this low. So I went in for the sell, and you can see that definitely. Let me take a quick screenshot of my journal. So that definitely didn't work out. So so yeah, just stick with the first one. Out of the three, you can observe the three, okay? Out of the three, just check which one takes liquidity the first. Once it does, especially between that time of 10 a.m. to 10:10, by the way, if you're still in the trade by 10:30, you might want to close it because around 10:30, a lot of time, a reversal happens, okay? For example, let me see if it happened here. Okay, this was 10:32. You can see the reversal that happened here. Not exactly on the 10:30 line or anything, but you get the idea. I think this one was more in tune. Okay, it went up here. Exactly. It's around this 225 to 235 window. Sometimes a reversal happens. So if you're in the trade, you want to get out by then. Okay. So today I had one win and two L's, but I showed you guys, the trade. That's just the way it is sometimes. Okay. So, but what I'm most happy about is I stuck with my discipline. Because again, with the US30, I'm not gonna lie, while trading this live, doing on my chart, it was so tempting after this thing had broken even and closed above. It was so tempting to re-enter. But I have big goals in my trading, and my goals are bigger than the moments of indiscipline, right? So I'll see you guys on the next time we do this.